Hi, everyone. Remember me? Okay, I'm Rhea. Thanks for tuning in. I will be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 14. Yes, right here on my channel. And here, this episode, it'll be episodes 1 and 2. Y'all, I had to take some time. I had to step back. I had to detox my brain, my soul, just mentally, everything. I had to take a step back and just remove myself from the toxicity that is Married at First Sight. Okay, I did end up binge watching last season, Houston, just a few weeks ago. So, Lord, do I have opinions on that. Zach! How's dating now, Zach? Huh? Amid your cheating scandal. And Kay, listen, girl, I love what you're doing. Keep up with that kickboxing. It is good for your soul. I applaud you, girl. Okay. Married at First Sight decided to go back to Boston. And I will say, the only reason why I like Boston is because that's where my girl Shawnice, okay, Shawnice, who is actually my absolute favorite, all-time favorite Married at First Sight cast member. Shawnice is a product of the Boston season. I mean, there's Jeffy, whatever. If you know, you know. I really do love their family. And if you just like kind of check out their social media, like they're just so cute. And their daughter, Laura, oh my gosh. Married at First Sight is hell-bent on casting 5 couples. And it's really ridiculous right now. We got so many couples to talk about. So many people to give profiles on. Let's just get right into it, okay? Our first couple is Mark and Lindsay, or should I say Mark and Lindsay. So Mark is 37. Mark actually applied to the original Boston season, but he was kind of like a finalist, but he was not chosen for the show. So, but now he's chosen this time. So he has a nickname and it's Mark the Shark or Mark the Shark. Like he has a very positive attitude, totally a family guy. He was probably ready for marriage for real from when he was 17. Zach, this is probably the one, okay? Anyway, I do feel for him because he seems to be alone, in a sense. He's an only child. His father died a couple years ago. His actually 96-year-old, I think, grandmother is still alive, but she has Alzheimer's, so she doesn't even recognize him. And then I think his mom is like in some kind of rehab center or something. It's not like he has like family around him that like live around him that he, goes with and spends a holiday with or whatever. So he's more so just kind of like a caretaker, where with his, 2 immediate family members at their respected facilities. He decides to reveal that he's going to get married, or that he was chosen for the show, to his best friend's family. They were excited for him, but they were concerned and said that, they hope that whoever his wife is will understand his family situation and that he is a caregiver or somebody that has to like look after his ailing family members. He did call his mom over the phone to tell her that he was getting married, and she answers the phone, "What?" I mean, she seems kind of happy for him, but his wife is Lindsay. Lindsay is 34 years old. And okay, so what's interesting about her is that she was planning a wedding a year ago. And this was to, a long-term boyfriend that she had. She didn't specify how long that long-term boyfriend was. Are we talking 2 years or are we talking 7? Difference. She said 5 days before they were supposed to get married, the groom called off the wedding. She says her blood type is B positive, so that's her motto. And I'm just like, oh shoot, I'm B positive too, so I'm gonna use that. She's a nurse, so her particular position is a COVID project manager for like Boston Public Health, is what she said. She has such high energy. According to her, she no longer drinks coffee, and it's been 3 years since she's made that change. I cannot imagine what she would be like on caffeine. She does have some self-awareness about herself because she notes that she's never met a stranger that she doesn't like, but then she says that, but there have been strangers that definitely don't like me. And then she also says that her friends tell her that she is a lot. They showed a picture of her when she was a child, and her smile is exactly the same as it is now, which I think is actually pretty sweet. Definitely high energy, so I think there's kind of a bit of a match with her and Mark, being that she's both positive and high energy. Lindsay decides to tell her dad and brother that she was chosen for the show and that she's getting married. Her parents unfortunately got a divorce a few years ago, and she does not have a good relationship with her mom, to the point where she like literally does not talk to her mom very often, and when they do talk, they just do not get along. She brings like a toy like bubble blower thing, like something that kids would use, and just starts just blowing the bubbles or whatever, and then she tells them that she was chosen for the show. Her brother and father are very open with her and tell her like, yeah, you got to be careful what you say and whatever, and her brother basically tells her like, yeah, because you know you don't have any filter. All right, next we have Elijah and Katina. Elijah is 29 years old, and he's named the ex-playboy. Lord have mercy. His job has something to do with wastewater, I don't know, management, something. So Elijah's story is that he said he was not truthful in past relationships. He has cheated in past relationships. He said that he would tell women that his name was Isaac. He created this identity so that when he wanted to switch back to like who he really was, Elijah, then women couldn't like catch him. And then he said something about professors, and then the professors wouldn't, whatever. And I'm like, boy, are you talking about college? Son, we like 10 years later, okay? Or at least 8. Like, I mean, we're not just talking about what you did stupidly in college, are we? Did you also continue to cheat in like the relationships that you had after college, if you had those? Or were you in just situationships? Were you just dating and then just dating multiple women or whatever? I think one of his family members was like, yeah, is Isaac gone? He was like, yeah. But then we find out Isaac is his middle name, y'all. Boy, like, you didn't even just come up with like a random name. Like, it is actually still your identity. Are you dumb? Elijah says that he has taken the last 2 years to get to know himself and to do some self-work, self-reflection. I do not know if therapy was included in that. He did not say. Here's a little bit more about Elijah's background. His dad died when he was a teenager, but he said that his mom is his best friend. They showed a couple pictures of him and his mama. Okay. But her face was blurred out. And then we never see her, as far as I can tell. Like, anytime that they show him with his family and all that, whatever. We never see her. So, like, where's mama at? Like, she alive. So, like, where's she at, though? Here's what I say. If there is then just this silence, I take it the same way. Like, this person has not agreed. It's not just about like, oh, I just don't want to be on the show. Like, this person, or I just don't want to be like on camera. Like, to me, this person just got an issue. And he does have his own house. So, I mean, he does have a level of responsibility, obviously, even financial responsibility. He decides to tell several of his family members and friends at a barbecue that he was chosen for the show. They seem pretty happy for him. And then they kind of ask some questions about what he's looking for. He does reveal that a wife is somebody that will cook and that does know how to cook. And then they were just like, yeah, but what if she doesn't know how to cook? Or what if she doesn't want to cook or something? And he was like, that's not a wife. That's not a wife, though. No. That's a deal breaker. That's not a wife. To me, like, if that's a deal breaker for you, sir, this process is not for you. Marriedatfirstsight producers, good choice on picking him, because we know how y'all choose. Y'all choose the best ones for entertainment. Before the wedding, like, each group, the wives plus the husbands, they go out, for their bachelorette night. So the guys go to a strip club, and Elijah says, I am in my habitat. He ends up at one point taking off his shirt, so he's now shirtless, which really shows, yes, he really is in his habitat. Like, that, he feels very comfortable there. The stripper's bare bottom is slapping across his cheek, and then another time her leg is wrapped around his neck like a scarf. That was a bit much, but he did say that he would like a wife that would go to the strip club with him and, you know, and enjoy that kind of life. So, you know, we'll see if that's a match. So his wife is Katina. She's 30 years old. She's kind of labeled as the ex-party girl. So good match with that. MAFS, I love how you do, you know, you're really big on your opposites attract. And when one person is looking for one thing, you always find the person that's looking for the exact opposite or trying to do the exact opposite. You guys are always really good about, you know, matching those kinds of couples together. So also MAFS are, I mean, this is also, Katina has been cheated on. So many of her boyfriends, cheated on, lied to, you know, so Elijah won't trigger anything for her at all. And I'm sure he's gotten all of that out of his system, because it's not like a MAFS husband has ever cheated on his wife from Boston. Anyway, so Katina says she's also done with the party scene. She's been there, done that. Yeah, so I think she'll really enjoy Lajuan. Katina comes from a big family. She has several siblings, and she also wants a big family. She is ready to have a child. Anyway, she decides to tell a group of her friends that she's getting married. They seem happy and cool, whatever. It wasn't really a big deal. They were at a restaurant, blah, blah, blah. Then we have our next couple, and that is Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina is 29 years old. She is a preschool teacher. And she has, her past consists of dating emotionally unavailable men. A past boyfriend, I believe, also had lied to her and cheated on her, which resulted in having a baby. Jasmina's background is that her mom left when she was young, and then her dad got remarried when she was 7 years old. But that marriage came to an end at some point. But her stepmother ended up raising her and her sister from there on out, because her dad even eventually left and moved back to Jamaica. So her stepmother is her mother and, you know, pretty much the family that she has. So, you know, she seems like seemingly emotionally healed. I'm not saying that there's not like scars or anything like that, but like, she says, that's my mom, you know, so that's a beautiful thing. That's family, you know, lovely. I think Jasmina is hopeful for the process, but is definitely moving forward with caution, because she recognizes that, you know, she has tried multiple times in the past, and she feels like she's been the woman or the girlfriend that has fixed men to then go on to be their best selves. And she's just not with that anymore. In true MAFS fashion, they decide to match her with Michael, who's 28 years old. I put that he's like a serial dumper of women, like getting rid of women for frivolous things, particularly because he was unavailable emotionally. So good job, MAFS. He said he's done some work, or at least he's said that he's doing this process to prove to himself that he's ready. I'm like, bruh, nah, this ain't the show for you. Go on Ready to Love, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's a better situation. I mean, y'all, I don't know. And again, I didn't hear the word therapy. He might have read some books, but I didn't hear the word therapy. If I don't hear therapy, I'm going to question. Michael's background, however, is that his dad died when he was a teenager. He had a brother that was shot at one point, and then his mom died from breast cancer when he was 20 years old, and during college. So Michael has definitely experienced a lot of loss. He admits that is one reason why it has been hard for him to open up emotionally in relationships or even in dating. He's very close to his sisters and brother, and they just think the world of him. Pastor Cal says that he comes off very, very serious, but his sisters swear that he's super jokey and sometimes he can't be serious. Then there is Alyssa and Chris. Alyssa is 30 years old. Alyssa comes off as somebody who is like, I should be married by now, or at least engaged with like a huge ring, you know, like, why isn't this happening to me? Like, I don't understand. Universe, what happened? Universe, I don't understand. Universe, tell me, like, give it to me, universe. Alyssa tells us that she loves country music and country and riding horses. And she says that we wouldn't know that by looking at her. And I'm like, I didn't think anything, girl. What? Is there something, what do you have in your mind? What is the view that you have in your mind about people that listen to country music? She shares the news about that she's getting married with her friends and mom. And it was like super awkward because she like, you could tell it was rehearsed, right? And then she probably did the cut like, no, can we do it again? When she goes to try on her wedding dresses, which I actually like the dresses that she tried on. They were really pretty. She was wearing her cowgirl boots. Hi. Please, I am just hoping that when she walks down the aisles, that I do not see those big old man boots with spurs peeking out from underneath your dress. I mean, if you want to do do-si-do and promenade home, during your square dance at the reception and you switch into some really nice, cute boots, fine, I guess. But please, Alyssa, do not walk down the aisle in no country boots, please. Chris, her husband, he is 35 years old. He is a real estate agent. He always sounds like he's giving a TED Talk. So he's like very, not that he's like so formal, but he's just like, yes, formal. Yeah. He just always sounds like he's kind of like, oh, he's giving a speech. He describes himself as being a serial monogamist, that he's pretty much always in a relationship for the last 15 years since college, 2 years, 3 years, 1.5 years. He tells his mom that he's getting married. And I loved his mom's reaction. Like, mama is old school. She looked at him like he was crazy. She was like, what are you going to do? Like, I thought I was laughing at his mom's reaction. I'm like, thank you. I still have some faith that there are some family members that are looking at these people like, what is you doing? She's still there for him, but she's definitely she was looking at him like, what? What is this? What is up with this generation, you know? When they go to the strip club, Chris wants no parts of it. So when he sees Elijah Wan, putting his face in between people's booty cheeks, he's like, I don't want to do that. He's like, I want to do that with my wife. He's like, but I don't want to do that with anybody else. So he's like, this, that was not his scene. I mean, he is definitely corny because he has a Frisbee backpack, y'all. What? That exists? Y'all, he used to be the president of the New England Disc Golf Association. Y'all, I did not know this thing existed until I saw what it was, like this contraption. And I've actually seen that. A neighbor used to have that on their property, and I literally never knew what it was. And I always meant to Google what that was. And I finally found out what it was last week. Look at that. Then we have Noi and Steve. Noi is 33, and her family is from Laos. And she comes from a close-knit family. Her parents have been together for, however many years, decades. And Noi admires her parents' relationship. Like, I don't think that she can talk about her parents' marriage without tearing up. So it's really sweet that she comes from a family like that, and also that she has such admiration of her parents' relationship, and also that they have a kind of relationship that she, sees all this good in, that she can say for herself, like, you know what, I want that. But I will say this, Noi has been out there, she has been dating, and she has been trying. My girl went out as far as meeting somebody in Belgium or from Belgium. She also, you know, met somebody from the UK. So that means that I doubt that those were like, oh, I'm going to get to know somebody for a month and then we try to like meet up in person. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm going to guess that that was probably several months, if not much longer, before trying to meet those people in person, right? And so that's a long period. Those are long periods of time to try to like have relationships start and flourish, etc., when we're talking about a long distance relationship from the beginning. So this girl is out here. She has been trying everything. Carrie Bradshaw would be very proud of Noi. She said that it just has not worked out, so she was like, all right, I'm gonna try something new. Same thing that her husband Steve has said. Steve is 38. He comes from a big family, close-knit as well. Dr. Pep at one point said cultural. They're cultural together. Like, she used the word cultural. And I'm like, what you mean? Because they both Asian? Steve's mama ain't Asian. So, you know, there's that. But anyway, he comes from a big family. His dad is Asian of some descent. I don't know. He doesn't specify a country or anything like that. Steve does let us know that arranged marriages are in his family. I'm going to go ahead and assume by the pictures, his paternal grandparents have an arranged marriage. There's an aunt and uncle who also have an arranged marriage. Again, I'm going to go ahead and assume we're talking about paternal side. And he said it has worked for them. Steve, I think that's sweet. However, you are going on a game show, not having an arranged marriage. I get you. I hear you. And look, you might be the one in a million that it might work out for you on this very unfortunate, highly failed game show. You probably would have had better chances with Patty Stinger, except I think she only does The Millionaires, so I don't know what your financial situation. I don't know. Well, let's get into the next part of the conversation. So Steve says that he lost his job in November. So I'm assuming he means November 2020 from the time that this is now being filmed, right? Which is like summer, I'm assuming 2021. So he said at that point, he didn't want to go through another Boston winter, and he took the opportunity to travel down south through warmer weather for about 4 months and kind of just travel and have this kind of freedom opportunity. In the midst of this, he decides to then also apply for Married at First Sight. So he's coming off as like, oh, you ain't got no job. But he does say that he's doing contract work. So I'm assuming that means, okay, you have income. I don't know if that necessarily means that it matches what you would make as a full-time person. Maybe he's paying out his own insurance. I don't know. But fine. At least he has income. He must, I would like to believe that you have decent savings also. Maybe he's getting still severance pay. I don't know. Who knows what that situation was. The fact that MAFS producers feel like they have the right to just make this choice for somebody. But look, that's what you get when you sign up for this game show. Okay. Look, people lose their jobs, yes, in real life, but it should be up to someone's choice as to whether they want to then have that go into this very difficult decision or this difficult process with somebody who is kind of like, well, I'm like, between jobs. But again, like I said, he says he's in contract. He makes it seem like he can get a job just like that. So, hopefully he's not being boastful and really is speaking on a realistic level. So now just to get into the weddings that have already occurred. Lindsay and Mark's wedding. Lindsay gets really drunk on her wedding day. She drunk. To the point where at one point she was looking for her vows. This is before obviously the ceremony started, right? But she's at the location, and the producers must have asked her, where are your vows? She must have stuffed it like into, her chest area. Lindsay just drops her, like, the top part of her dress. I mean, I don't know, with the angle where the camera was, we didn't see nipple, but I mean, if you were right in front of her, you surely did. Yo, I mean, it was just, and she was just out in public. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with you? It was just a bit too much. And she's like burping, and like as she's walking, it was just not cute. She's like talking all through the ceremony, showing how bubbly she is, and she's kind of like being funny, and I get it, but like she's like, dude, what's your last name, dude? Mayor? Then she goes like to everybody, she's like, Mayor, oh my gosh, it's so easy, like, suck it, guys, suck it. And, like, if I was his family, I'd be like, oh God, oh my gosh. Then they say something like, yeah, his friends call him like Mark the Shark. And she was like, oh my gosh, like, dude, like, I hate sharks. Like, no, like, I'm like totally like, I don't like mess with sharks. Like, no, I like really don't like sharks. Like, I don't really know how this is gonna work, because like, I don't really like sharks. Like, I mean, the girl wouldn't shut up, even throughout his vows. He's reading his vows. It was so cute. He like named a bunch of, I guess, neighborhoods in Boston. And he was like, I went here, I went there, didn't find you, I didn't find you. She was like, dude, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. No, I wasn't there either. You should have gone up north, dude. Like, shut up. One of the things I hate about the wedding day with Married at First Sight is the super awkward first couple combo. It's like awkward or whatever, but look, not everybody is super suave. So she just babbled, just brr, 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 like no rest. And Mark realized that he was with an Energizer bunny. At one point, you see her laying down on the park bench. Like she's, like somebody that's just laying on a park bench. But yeah, she's in her wedding dress. Then he comes over and like sits next to her. It's like, so I'm like, she's drunk. Like, she has to lay down. He comes and sits down next to her. And before he can say something, she starts the whole like, dude, like, if you could be one animal, like, what would it be? And he actually had a really quick answer, which I was kind of surprised at. He was like, oh, a monkey. She was like, oh my gosh, I hate monkeys. Like, no, like, I don't mess with monkeys. And he was like, it's okay, I don't have one. It's okay. Like, and she kept going. Like, no, like, I really don't like monkeys. Like, have you ever been to a monkey sanctuary? I don't like monkeys. Whatever. He was like, it's okay, I don't have one. Don't worry about it. I don't have a monkey. She's like, no, but like, monkeys are really bad. Like, they're like really bad. Ooh, girl. Then she discovers that they got 5 cats between them. But one of the things y'all, I'm a detail queen, so I gotta drop my little details here and there. But one of the things I remember that Mark said was, he said a coworker moved in with him and brought a cat, and that brought the total of cats in his apartment to 3. So I'm wondering, does he have a roommate still, or did that roommate move out and then leave their cats, so now he has 3? So I'm a little confused about that. But then there was Elijah and Katina's wedding day. She walks down the aisle by herself, actually, and he was just in awe of her beauty. I mean, he was just like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're so pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful that they chose you. So thankful that they chose you. I mean, I will say, it was really nice to see, some black men praise some black beauty, because y'all be real nasty. So, how they have the families write, like, oh, Katina's family would like you to know, and Elijah's family would like you to know, whatever. That for Elijah, his family was like, he expects you to, or he's ready for you to cook for him, or whatever, something about cooking. And so she makes this face like, because old girl don't cook. She ain't a cook. And not that she don't cook, but she's just that's not her gift. That's not her ministry. All of a sudden he looks to the audience and they looking back at him like, yeah, where's that deal breaker, bruh? And then he's like, oh, we'll learn together. We'll learn together. Oh, right. You got that pretty face. So all of a sudden your deal breaker's done changed, right? Right. He did ask her if it was okay to kiss her. And I like it when the guys do that. I like it when the men do that. I think that's really nice. I do not see that with most of the couples. But I appreciate that. And, you know, she said yes, and they kissed. So I really like that. When it came to their, you know, awkward first couple convo, he was just rambling. And Katina was really, I mean, she just had like literally like the winning crest smile. Like, just like, she was just cheesing. Like, just, you know, and he didn't know what to do. Like, so he was rambling out of being super, I guess, nervous and, you know, maybe a little bit intimidated. And then he ended his babble with saying, I kind of want to ask you for another kiss, but I don't know, I'm kind of shy too, but can I have another kiss? Like, and then she was like, okay, Katina, you standing there saying nothing though. Like, dude is like actually trying to talk to you, you know? And I'm not saying, I mean, I still think that I think Olajuwon is probably a bit of a cornball with some abs, you know? So I'm not saying that he really is very interesting to talk to, but at the same time, like, she was not giving anything. I feel like she was just kind of standing there and smiling. In that regard, I did feel bad for him. Like, what you expect him to do? Then there's Jasmina and Michael's wedding. Jasmina was really nervous before the start of her wedding, like saying she was nauseous. She feels like she was about to throw up. Like, she just, you know, was getting super emotional. Even right as she rounded the corner with her mom, who was walking her down the aisle, she just started to cry and just really was tearing up as she walked down the aisle. So Michael was very impressed. He thought she was beautiful. He did the whole like, wow, you know, as she was walking down the aisle. And, you know, again, another satisfied black man. All of a sudden, Jasmina, like, came on stage and was like a whole performer. She a whole comedian up here. Like, she really, like, showed a different side of her that was very, like, humorous, but really just showed that she was able to open up. And I feel like that allowed Michael to kind of feel even more comfortable to open up himself and even just kind of smile and feel a little bit more at ease just during the ceremony. I thought that was really cute. After reading her vows, she kind of like dropped, she crumpled up her vows and then dropped it like she was doing a mic drop. It was really cute. Oh, also I noticed that like they announced that Michael's family was Haitian. So I was like, okay, MAFS, bringing together a Jamaican and Haitian family. Yeah. It's a joke. But I'm like, y'all got black people on production? Anyway, their awkward couple first convo, like, Michael poured himself a glass and like of champagne, like started drinking himself. Like, he didn't wait for her. Like, I'm not even sure if he poured her like a glass. Like, so Michael, you know, I think it's going to take him some time to start thinking for someone else and not just for himself too. So it wasn't even just about like, it doesn't seem like his issue is even just so much about emotional availability, but like, just kind of like open up your, like, you're just doing like tunnel vision. Like, to me, like, get some peripheral vision and notice that there's somebody next to you. At the start of their reception, we could just tell that their families are seemingly very happy together. And those are the weddings so far. Next week, they will start the final two weddings. And it's probably going to be like a whole, like, 1.5 episodes left for weddings before we even get to them. Anyway, y'all, thanks for tuning in for my review. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're thinking about this season, these couples. Are you into it? Are y'all watching MAFS? What's up? Okay? All right. So hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye.